That's it. That's just like, that's so much of social media stuff is just like, just be there.
As
be there,
Lloyd
man.
Christmas would say in Dumb and Dumber, we're there.
You want a pair of these mittens? My hands are getting kind of sweaty.
I've got an extra pair of gloves. Harry, your hands are freezing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Cheer up, dude.
Cheer up, dude. It's Christmas.
Christmas.
Well, actually, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Happy Turkey Day.
Hope you're eating that up. Yeah.
Happy Black Friday.
That's right. Yeah, this will come out on Black Friday.
there.
That was a little too hard.
I don't like the way you said
I don't like the way it said that. That made us all uncomfortable. We're going to have to retract that, I think. Well, where was that?
it's this one. It's this one.
Got it wrong. Oh, man. So, yeah, well, happy Thanksgiving and happy
Welcome
Black
back.
Friday. Welcome back. Yeah.
Another episode of Nostalgialand.
We're in it, man. And so we do have some merch we have to shout out. So he ordered it. It came in. It looks good. You know, we don't get to see all our products outright. So
Cheer up, dude. It's Christmas.
which I feel like for some of the ones that we're selling, like it's like if you know the line, you know the line, and like it's a real niche of like people are just like, oh, I remember that. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a Jim Carrey character, in
Yeah.
case you weren't aware.
I think it's from the Majestic. Is
Yeah,
that right?
100%.
No, it's that one. Yeah,
It's from 23.
No, it's Cable Guy.
Truman Show.
Cable guy.
What was the other one you were saying we need to do? It's Welcome Back to Problems with Troy. That
Yeah.
one. So
we need to make merch that goes off the
Absolutely.
gimmicks, the bits.
No,
from the
we
show.
need the
Yeah.
shirt that's the gorillas in the golf cart. And
Yeah.
it says "Return to the Mist."
Oh,
Yes.
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 See, I need you guys to remind me of
Yes.
this because we go through these recordings quick and I just completely
Or
forget.
golfing in the mist. Or
Yes.
something like that.
If those aren't already up in our
Welcome
store,
back.
yeah,
to Problems with Troy.
that's it. Yeah.
It's just a picture of like the Goonie.
Or it's just
like,
our logo.
yeah.
I need to check that out. So if they're not already up online in our store, please go check out and see what's up there. It's at nostalgialandpodcast.com, or you can find our shop on Instagram. And I'm still working on the stupid TikTok. I don't know what's wrong with it, but like our TikTok has a shop. And hopefully by the time this recording comes out, which is Black Friday, it is up. So go check it out.
Hopefully we can get this available in green because I was gonna get it in green.
Oh, yeah.
And it's advertised in green, but you can't buy it in green.
And I did that specifically to piss people off.
And I was like, well, I don't want to buy it in blue. No offense to Hanukkah, but it says Christmas on it.
I gotta see why. Like, yeah, some of the suppliers, people we get, it's just a gamble at times.
Yeah.
It's whatever they got whenever they got it.
They like a nice gray
You know?
color though. They look like a charcoal gray.
It's
That's
a really
it's a good one.
And like, what's nice to know though is like this looks warm as
It's
hell.
really
dude.
warm. I might take it off halfway through the episode because it's
So Trey gets real quiet.
We're in Miami, so
You hear him breathing hard, and he's just struggling over there. Just like, get this thing off. Jesus.
help. If Matt has to lean over and
Father, help. Surgical scissors. Just cut that.
I'll buy another one.
You're fine. I'll get another one out there in green. Hopefully in green this time.
Oh,
yeah.
inbreeder.
Okay. Oh my God! Well, so welcome back, as he said. And today we're doing son-in-law.
Pauly Shore, baby.
Man, dude,
oh my gosh, it
That hurt.
screamed my
That
name.
definitely hurt.
Continue on
Yeah.
with Pauly
there
Shore.
was a slight
No, it's-
earthquake.
I was so happy when we got this text about halfway through October when Matt was like, does anybody have any Thanksgiving movies? And I was like, son-in-law, Pauly Shore.
Because I was struggling. I was like digging the bottom of the barrel. I was like, what's a Thanksgiving movie? And
I love like this movie, Biodome, and In the Army Now. I love
good.
all
Yeah.
three of those movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even take it back and start it with
Like
Encino
Encino
Man.
Man? Yeah.
But he's not full on let
Pauly.
loose.
He's not
center
squirrely
of-
yet.
Yeah,
He's
like
not
center
squirrely.
of the movie.
Yeah, because Brendan
Main
Fraser
character.
is in that one as well. Who makes a cameo in
Yeah,
Son-in-Law,
Yeah,
which is pretty funny.
That's a fun scene
As
too.
the
yeah.
Encino Man.
yeah.
Yeah. So the premise of this is Thanksgiving. This chick, sorry, what's her name?
Becca.
Becca. So
Rebecca.
Becca, she lives in South Dakota, moves to California for college. She has her world turned upside down.
goes
She
to
meets.
UCLA.
She meets
meets Crawl.
Crawl, our Pauly Shore character. Pauly.
What's his actual name?
They don't say it, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do because he shows her the picture of him as a geek,
Oh yeah, he's a nerd.
and he's like, and then I grew the do. guzzled some brew.
Guzzles and breath.
He's like, I tossed the shades,
Yeah.
grew the dew, and guzzled some brew.
So she becomes friends with him, and it's strictly platonic through like 90% of the movie. It really is. And then she changes him. He changes her into like California, let loose. She decides, he's lonely for
She
Thanksgiving.
becomes crotch.
Yeah, crotch. Yeah,
He's crotch, she's
to
crotch.
his
crotch.
The crotch to his crawl.
She then takes
Or the
Pauly
crawl to
Shore.
his- Either way, it's bad.
Right. Well, she then takes Pauly Shore back to her home in South Dakota,
and
where
hilarity ensues.
Where hilarity ensues, and he shakes up this small country town.
So we've glossed over quite a bit.
Yeah.
No. I just wanted to recap there because
yeah.
I don't want to know if because there's some people I've talked to about this, and they're like, I'm not fucking watching that. No,
Oh man.
like who's in that? And I was like, okay, well it's Pauly. It's it wasn't that
It's
bad.
funny. If you're in the mood for just like a dumb, like turn your brain off Tyler movie, Pauly Shore's the way to go. And
Yeah.
his comedy is not only like
Did you just say a dumb turn your brain off Tyler movie?
No,
'Cause,
type of movie.
Type of movie. We're just
I
gonna
like good movies
Oh
too.
man, behind you, I'm gonna put a list of Tyler movies just in After Effects.
not on purpose. If I did say that.
Like we're gonna make a shirt, Tyler movies, and it's just gonna have numbers and it says I think garbage.
It's Oscar the Grouch.
Exactly.
But any Pauly Shore movie, and his comedy's not just like one-liners, which he's great at, but
Right.
there's a lot of like physical comedy in those too. Like the one example's in the Army Now when he grabs the bazooka and he's like, "Suck on this one time," and it goes,
And it goes backwards.
backwards.
Yeah.
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 Oh man, yeah. Well, I think you could definitely do like if you got time this Black Friday and you're just hanging around the house, you're digesting
You can
like
rent it on
yesterday's meal.
Prime for like
Just do
$2
yourself
or
a Pauly Shore marathon, man. Like so, we got Encino Man, In the Army Now, Son-in-Law,
Biodome.
Yeah. Any others from those? Because he was kind of around.
Those were his like.
those were his
Troop?
like big four. Yeah, he's in Goof Troop.
He's one of the
Yeah.
guys in
He's
Goof
the
Troop.
leaning tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Cheesa, actually.
Yeah.
that's a great like family one to watch. To sit down and get is give a rewatch. Is Goof
Well, because he
Troop,
had
yeah.
a deal with Disney where he was making like albums for them. Like he was doing character voice work. And then they gave him some of these movies. And then like Biodome wasn't as big of an box office hit. But there was like probably like a 3-4 year span there where he was like it. Like Pauly Shore was like Jim Carrey when he did Ace Ventura.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
not
yeah.
that big, but yes.
But he was like the originator
though.
of those styles of movies, I feel like. Because Ace Ventura came out
I mean,
after Pauly Shore.
ain't nobody doing Pauly Shore movies with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
It's a very
Dude, I,
specific.
like
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
get into
He's
it, like I
such,
was
he's almost like a peewee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where it's a very specific.
like it's like Borat now,
Yeah.
where it's like you fit your
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like that style, like that Borat style.
like
Right.
often
comedy.
imitated but never
Yeah,
duplicated.
exactly.
Type of deal.
Right. So his whole thing though is like that with Pauly Shore is that he's always like the loner. Like he's never like I came from a good family and I have a good household and like I got the like.
I mean, you've
mom
seen him, right? You've seen the characters, right?
and see who he does.
It's like I talked about where it's like, when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, where it's like he'd be fun to hang out with like for like 10 minutes, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I need.
You're talking about his characters.
Yeah.
Because the real Pauly Shore would be fun to hang out with for a lot longer than 10 minutes.
I hope so. No.
Well, I was watching him on Rogan, and
Oh, yeah.
dude, I felt like I wanted to go give him a hug because he was
Hold on,
talking
let me
about.
play your Rogan music. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I wanted to give him a hug because he was talking about how, like, when he watches these movies now, he gets sad. And Rogan was like, "Why? Like, they're really good movies." And he's like, "No, like, because like it was so much fun, like, and I don't have fun like that anymore." And he's like, "Well, why don't you have like?" Rogan is very like, "Well, why? Like, let's figure out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, because I don't want to do that stuff anymore." And he's like, "Well, because I'll never be that famous again." And he's like, on my 40th birthday, I cried. I was like, dude, like people still love your stuff. Like this is not like,
You're not at the end of an
Us
era.
40-year-olds out here still cracking up.
dude. I mean, even me, I'm in my 30s and I love Pauly Shore. Like his movies are great.
Yeah.
That was a very Rogan moment. I
But
felt that.
this was the first Pauly Shore movie that I saw. Travis had it on VHS. I got it that time.
Yeah.
Travis had it on VHS, and this was one that like when like other people were playing video games, like it wasn't my turn. I was watching either Son-in-Law or In the Army Now because those were my two favorite ones.
I just remember these on the shelves at Blockbuster, which feels so old to say now. But I remember like walking by and seeing like Son-in-Law on the shelves and being like,
And there was always
maybe?
like 30 of them.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
wasn't, but it was never one that I picked up because I don't know, something about the cover just didn't grab
Oh,
me.
because it's like the old school, what's that, like American
Gothic.
Gothic
That's
painting?
that's
where,
my art major
Yeah.
coming in handy there.
Good job, SUNY Purchase.
There he goes. Actually,
but-
New World, Flying
yeah.
Pigeons.
There you go. But it's them as the two characters, and like he has like the bandana and the.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Becca graduates. She's the valedictorian of this small high school in South
There's
Dakota.
like 12 people.
Yeah.
She gives the worst commencement speech ever. Change. It's changey. And sometimes it's changeable.
Hey,
there's a lot of
Barack
change.
Obama did change. He changed.
Change.
Moving right along from that. Yeah, and then it cuts over to the audience when she's giving the speech and
And
it shows
it's-
the dad,
It shows the dad.
who
it
is
shows,
Coach Riley.
Yeah, we got Coach is back, baby.
But now he's cool because his lapel's laid down. So he's all right.
So Pell's laid down.
That's what he's like.
He does sound like somebody who's like from
Evil? Good.
That's right. That's
Evil.
what I'm trying to get to.
Good.
Oh, shit. His lapel's out.
It's like Mysterio. If he has the helmet on, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Hold on. You're going to tell me you're going to tell him there's no steak here at this steakhouse. His lapel is up, Karen. You're about to take a whooping to the face. I bet
He
you're
walked in here and his lapel was down. You're going to tell him he ain't got no steak?
There's no ribeye.
I wish this jacket had a collar.
It also cuts to her brother, who is the great Hambino.
Great Hambino, baby.
Yeah. That guy had an amazing year. 93?
And in this movie, he has so many issues.
Yeah.
This poor kid.
I love him in the movie. His character is very funny, but his character, let's go back to problems with squishy puppy cheeks.
McDonald, that apartment.
Patrick Patrick Reyna.
And on
Patrick
this farm, he
Reyna.
had a kid with squishy puppy cheeks.
Again, that's getting added to the album.
They go when they just for example, they go to her dorm room, and the kid is such a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, Trey's taking the sweater off.
It's gotten
a little
too hot
warm in here.
already.
I mean, it's Miami, dude. It's hot. I mean, this jacket is very light.
Is it hot, Chad?
It's in the army now.
Yeah, it is.
We'll cut his camera for there. Here, look, I got you. Go.
You're good. You're covered.
You're covered. Covered.
So then they go to her dorm room and they're carrying the trunk, and he's bitching about he doesn't want to carry the trunk, and the mom says, "I'll carry it."
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
the dad helps him, and if you went to college, this is not dorm life. Like I don't know what you know, like.
Maybe in UCLA.
Maybe this is like the most exaggerated dorm living I've ever seen, with just people walking around, and while you're moving in for the first time, and
There's so
they're
many
acting like
people.
they just live here full time all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Like everybody's like, oh, we're old news.
And
No,
it
this is
starts
not.
with like the dude walking down the hall
In
and
the
they
towel, and they steal his
rip
towel.
his towel off,
Yeah.
and he just like whatever, hanging
Well,
with his wang out.
here's my wiener.
There's like 100 people in the hallway. This is not true.
He's just like, they're going to see this anyways at some
What's that
point.
rap song?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Asian girls everywhere. UCLA.
Okay.
But then they go into the room, and the kid, her brother, what's his name in the movie?
Zach.
Zach. Yeah.
Zach.
Right into the
Immediately.
underwear drawer.
Into his sister's underwear drawer.
No. It's his roommate. It's his
No,
roommate.
no.
First he
pulls
goes
out and
into
he's
her-
Like,
Oh,
oh,
yes.
these cotton panties. You're not
Cotton
very
white pansy. Yeah.
adventurous, are
sensible.
you?
Yes.
Cotton white
And I'm like,
panties.
what
Dude.
the hell? And then he pulls the roommate's underwear out, which is kind of lacy and red, and he's like,
Get you a pair of
oh
these.
yeah, these is more like it, whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's your sister, dude.
Stop.
That's disgusting.
Just stop.
And your mom and dad are standing right there. This is like the most
Stop.
disgusting scenario I've ever been a part of.
Hey, man.
Let it go. Like,
I
stop.
guess this was the beginning of this like whole step family stuff.
Makes
that's
no,
going
no.
on
It
the
makes
internet.
total sense in the movie because Pauly Shore, when he first meet her, she tells him where he's from, and he goes, "Oh, so you're inbred?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "What?" And he's
God,
like,
yeah.
"You know, where your mom's your dad, and your dad's your brother."
That's it. Yeah.
No, we are not inbred.
No, dude. This family.
Talk
was
to
like,
your brother because
But then
semen bred.
he says something. Give me the key to the trunk.
Right.
The
He's like,
Coach
"I don't
Riley
have
says,
it."
"Give me the key to the trunk." And he's like, "I don't have it. I told you to bring it. I didn't hear you. I swear, boy, you have some kind of chemical in your brain that blocks the sound of my voice." And he turns around with roommate's bra on his head, and he's like, "I can't hear you."
Yes.
Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what is going on with
That's
you?
a psychopath right there. That is like a born
It's a serial
psychopath.
killer.
Like,
Live
yeah,
in
this is
South
serial killer.
Dakota.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's gonna start with like they're gonna start noticing, hey, some chickens are dead. It must have been a fox, and it's gonna keep growing and growing till he's killed like a
setting
horse.
fires.
Why
Yeah.
did he buy?
And
Why
he's
did he buy a
starting
tan
fires.
beetle?
No, that's a
I think his
problem.
leg is
got
hurt.
it.
I think his leg is
He
hurt.
got it. He got it. Why did he
Can
buy
you
a
come
tan?
help me?
You know who drove a tan beetle?
Hold on, you need to slow
Bundy.
down and enunciate. What?
Oh, look, he bought a tan beetle.
Okay.
Jeffrey
No,
Dahmer drove a
thank
tan
God.
Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy.
Ted
doing
Bundy.
it.
Ted Bundy.
Man, okay.
He's gonna go to a sorority house in Tallahassee.
Side.
It's gonna get real bad.
Side quest here.
Side quest.
Hold on. Have you ever been to a party and you met someone so
That's
drunk?
my Psychos music.
That's your psychos music.
ahead.
Okay. Have you ever been to a party and you met somebody who's so drunk you assume they were autistic?
Artistic?
Autistic.
Oh, okay.
Autistic. And I want you to know, I have a nephew autistic, and I've grown up with people on spectrum, especially and specially abled and all that. And I know how to I interact with them all the time in a way that's not pandering or like condescending, like playing down to them in any way. So this guy comes up to me, and I have since learned that he's not autistic, but he comes up to me, and two things stand out to me: high energy, and he's really close to me. And it's like the beginning of the party. And what I didn't know was that he had been drinking since like 8 a.m. that day.
They
And
go real fast and real
and
left.
the party was at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And so we're talking.
Come back to that.
He's getting real close. He comes up right up to my face and he goes, "We're going to have fun tonight." And I was like, "Yeah, bud. Yeah, we're going to have a good time, man. We'll sing it out. What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Mike." And he hands his out. I was like, "Cool, bud. It's great to meet you, man. I'm
thank
glad
God.
you're here."
I thought he was
And I
talking about me on my 21st birthday.
no. He's like, "I'm glad you're here." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Do you know where the snacks are?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, like, I think they're over there in the kitchen." He's like, "Awesome." And he walks away. The other things about it is like, he has these mannerisms and stuff that he does. And he bought the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. I don't know why they sell those. I don't know why they sell those
people buy
anymore.
them.
No, but they shouldn't sell those anymore. Like, that's the thing.
So Jeffrey Dahmer just ruined those
He
glasses
ruined
for
those
everybody?
glasses for everybody. No one should be allowed to buy those glasses.
You can wear Jeffrey Dahmer glasses just like you can wear Steven Tyler PJs.
Steven
Steven
funny is,
Tyler
like-
PJs. Steven Tyler PJs.
What's funny is that, like, I met his sister and the rest of his family are like, "So it's great. Like, so how's he doing? How's he everything?" And like, I'm talking to her and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's great. He has a job." He's doing it. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. That's really good for him." And like, I get to the point where I realize, oh, he's not autistic. He's really drunk right now.
He's not okay.
But like every interaction up until that point, and like for several days before, I had seen him around, and like just his energy and stuff like that, I just kept thinking he's funny. I told him that. I told him to his. I wanted you to know. I told him to his face, and he's like, he was like, "Oh my
Who are you
god!"
trying to convince here?
I want you to know.
No, but that's
So
we're
back
gonna
to
get
that.
real
What were you
fast.
saying? Real fast.
Yeah, so there's
a video of a guy being interviewed, and he's at a NASCAR race, and the guy basically says like, "Hey, bud, how you doing today?" And like puts the mic over, and he's like, "I'm doing great. I've been drinking since 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where the hell I am."
Yes,
And
yes,
he's
yes,
like,
yes.
"These cars are gonna go real fast and real left." And Zach Bryan used him.
Yeah,
In
he
the
brought
beginning
him
of
on.
one of his songs, he clipped it, and then he
Yeah.
brought him out on stage with him and everything. It was
He
just
did it
awesome.
live. Man, dude, there's always an opportunity out there. So just
Just get wasted,
just
get
be
interviewed.
there.
Cars
Just be
are
there.
gonna
That's what I keep
going
telling
real
you.
fast and real left.
That's like partially my fear and partially like my love about social media. I'm terrified that one day like someone's gonna walk up and be like, "Hey, you mind doing something real quick?" And like I'm like on a prank show or like some idiot's like prank YouTube or something
get
like that.
knocked
And I'm
out.
just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Can I ask you some questions about the Middle East?
Yeah. Something
I'd rather
no,
you
I'm
didn't.
fine. I'm okay. Do you think people should own Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses? No, you shouldn't allow
why not?
people to
Go
buy
for it,
those.
bro.
Don't no. No, I'm terrified of that. But also, just be there. Just be around. You see a
I
camera?
know he's making the grilled cheese at night.
I know he's making them at night. I'm not making them at night.
I'm making them at night.
I'm making them at night.
Oh my god.
We've
Shea
gone
Gillis.
far off of the
Gillis.
side quest. Side quest is over.
No,
Bring it
we're
back
still
around.
in the land of stand-up, which is what Pauly Shore kind of made his.
Pauly Shore would have loved.
Because
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's go back. We'll get back to the movie. Yeah.
So her roommate walks in,
Right.
Yeah.
and it turns out that her roommate is a lesbian.
Yeah, which was pretty early on in
Yeah.
film and stuff.
I
to,
thought that
to
was
just
pretty,
have
like-
an open kiss.
Yeah.
So that was
He gets his
Very
first
hot as a-
funny
as a
line.
young-
He
yeah.
gets his first funny line in the movie because
he's like,
her and his girlfriend, the roommate and her girlfriend share like a goodbye kiss,
Right.
and it cuts to the parents from South Dakota, like,
Yeah. Holy.
and then he's like, "Hey, Dad, you got your camera?"
Yeah. He's like, camera.
Dad, he's like,
camera.
give it to me.
Quick.
Give it to me.
Get
Give
it.
it to me now. Give it to me
Camera.
now.
It's really funny.
This
That-
family's a nightmare to me, though. Like the whole time, like they're just making
Middle
this scene,
America.
yelling at each other, like
Yeah.
arguing. I'm just like, oh my god, just put it down. Like take 5 minutes, reevaluate this situation.
Deep
No, you can
breaths.
tell
Yeah.
that Becca's
Deep
like,
breaths.
Oh my
Becca's like
God.
mortified. She's like, "Oh my
And
God."
she's wound so tight that like her and her brother are constantly fighting in the back, and
Yeah.
then the mom and the dad are fighting, and then the brother and the mom are fighting. And it's like just relax for like 5 seconds.
So Tyler was saying that he was asking for the key to the trunk,
Yeah.
and Zach forgot it in the car. So
Yeah.
he goes across to the RA.
I know he left at home.
He left it at home.
Yeah.
So he goes across to the in South Dakota.
Yeah.
So he goes across to the RA's room to get a screwdriver, and
And lo and behold,
Pauly Shore is doing abs from the ceiling.
But you don't even see him.
right at first you don't
Yeah.
see him, and he's like,
Which makes no sense.
because
well, maybe he was hooking himself up.
I mean, still,
Yeah.
if you walked into a room
Yeah, that's true.
and there was a dude hooked to a bar hanging
Right.
in the ceiling,
Right.
you'd be like, there's a dude in the ceiling.
bar.
You wouldn't be like,
your first reaction isn't look up a little bit.
That's
just
funny.
out of that eye line.
It's funny because he's like, "Hello," and then Pauly Shore's like, "Hello."
yeah, he like swings down. His
man, yeah.
big curly hair all crazy.
And he's
hanging
like,
out the
"How can I help you? My name's Krull." And he's
Wait,
like,
what was that? Crawl.
"Yeah, Krull." And he's like, "I'm looking for a screwdriver." He goes, "Oh, I'm all out of orange juice."
No, I'm all out of vodka.
all out of
vodka.
No,
Oh,
like
man.
the actual tool.
like a tool.
To my daughter's trunk is. Oh, you have a daughter.
Yeah, that's
Doctor.
There was some
Don't
moments
worry,
where I'm just
I'll
like,
be sure to take good
then he's like,
care of her. I'm the resident advisor.
yeah,
The resident
Oh
advisor.
my god.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, hell
Absolute
no."
meltdown
Yeah.
of that father from coaching little league pee wee hockey.
From molesting kids to worrying about it.
This is his penance. So anyway, the parents leave and Becca's at school and she's
Right.
like super homesick. Like
Right.
she,
Well, but let's go back a little bit to before they leave. Her dad's trying to like warn her about the kids out in California. And,
Oh yeah,
you know, and-
California.
Yeah, California. And she said, he's like, you know, the boys are different. They move at a different pace. And just, bam, hits him with it. Are you trying to tell me not to have sex, Dad?
yeah,
I
yeah.
was trying to be like more gentle
I
about
was
it.
trying to
mind
beat around
you-
the bush a little bit.
Oh God, that's an ignorant. No,
Yeah, let's leave Bush out of this.
no, hold on. But like, mind you, she's dressed this whole time like one of
In
the
a nightgown.
like the not the Gilmore Girls, the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
No, she's
Sorry.
dressed like she's in
full-
Little House on the Prairie.
full up to the neck
That's it.
nightgown.
All the way up,
And then
all the way down.
immediately when the dad
sleeves.
leaves, she pulls that off, and she's wearing. It doesn't look provocative.
She's wearing
It's
like
just-
a tank top and a
it's
pair
just
of
like,
jeans.
She's like got like a sweater, yeah, a little sweater
It's a
on.
nice outfit.
It's nothing crazy.
No, yeah,
Where she proceeds out to her boyfriend Travis, who's down by the truck,
in the barn.
and like nobody noticed him, just sitting right out in front of the house. Like,
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Travis.
then they go to the barn.
I'm here every night.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're in the barn.
There's a lot of weird parts we'll get to it
Travis?
with Travis.
Okay,
I think
sorry.
we're going to be getting back to problems with Travis
Travis.
here a lot. But
Something
then they're
about
in
the
the
T
barn.
names.
This is the first one where they're making out.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, stop!" And he's like, "Why?"
You leave tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, you leave tomorrow for 3 months, so I get sex.
That's it. His
No.
why. His
No, you-
why was
Yeah.
so aggressive.
Yeah.
Just, why?
I was like, asshole. Gosh.
that got me.
You're
Yeah.
such a prude.
It's like, oh man, this guy's
She's
really.
like, I just want it to be right.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but what if everything changes? It won't change. I promise. And he's like,
Nothing changes.
okay.
She just gave the big speech about change earlier too. She's like, change
That's funny.
happens and
I didn't
it's
even think about
changing.
that.
We should have like a
Even-
ticker. We should watch the movie again with a ticker. It's like change. It's like think,
Change.
think, like one of the pitch counter things.
Yeah.
Like click, click,
There's
click,
a-
click.
Change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be much change.
She changes her hair. Ding. She changes her clothes. Ding. So,
Yeah.
but we get to school now, and she's like super homesick, like calling
Yeah.
Travis,
Right.
all this stuff. And
Weird part when, and you meet Tracy, like their friend.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Bingo. Wow.
Bingo.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Slow
Talking
down.
about childhood crushes. God,
Yeah, before they leave, like you get kind of this like passing by
You get the
of
pan of Tiffany
Amber
and-
Thiessen.
Okay,
sitting
who
there.
plays Tracy?
Yeah, plays
who
Tracy.
also played Kelly
Kapowski.
And I
Kapowski
didn't know if
from
you guys
Saved by
had
the Bell.
noticed this, but when she calls home when she's super homesick and she's holding like the horse, wooden horse that her grandfather gave her.
Whittled.
Yeah, I love that. But we'll get there. And she's calling Travis.
Yeah.
And he says like, "Damn it, Tracy."
I told you I'll be there in a minute, Ella.
Yeah, and then he picks up and he's like, "Hello," and she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Oh, hey, Becca, what's up?"
Wow,
And it's
dude.
like,
She's been gone like 10
piece of
minutes.
shit.
yeah, exactly. Like,
You couldn't wait 3 months?
Why?
yeah, you're supposed to let me see your tits.
Yeah. You're the one that said that things weren't going to change.
That's right.
Dude, no, this guy just like screams aggression, just sexual over-aggression.
Well,
this whole-
it's such a weird like up and down in the beginning because he's very kind of like easygoing and like, you know, he's very kind. And,
Yeah.
but then there's these
Accommodating.
weird like spikes of like, there's a dark side there.
That's how you know
that
they're
they
serial
really
killers.
don't touch on.
Right.
Really don't. Now the
Right.
serial killers are normally like, it's him you got to watch. You know what I mean?
The quiet ones you got to watch. While you're watching the quiet ones, the loud one
You know
will
how you're-
freaking kill you.
Dude,
how your
there's
bro-
a guy down there sitting at the end of the bar just drinking his drink all normal. And another guy walks in the front door with a machete and starts banging on the bar and says, "I'm going to kill the next motherfucker that walks into this place." Who are you going to watch?
Who are you gonna watch?
George Carlin, man, is the best.
This is what's like. It's like you need to remember. It was like, yeah, your brother just rifled through your roommate's underwear
Yeah.
drawer. It was like
That's the one you got to watch.
That's the one you need to look out for. Zach's got the problem.
And then put it on his head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No boundaries with that kid.
But,
He was
um,
rifling through your underwear
Yeah,
as his sister.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Oh, God, dude. Yeah. I didn't like the way that was written.
Strange.
Yeah, so
Crazy
she calls
chicken work.
Travis. She's super homesick. And then the Halloween party comes.
Well, and no, Pauly Shore she's the
because she
Halloween
goes
party
in the room
And
and there's an actual like
Party?
party going on
in her room,
actual
and her roommate's like, "Sorry,
Sorry,
Becca,
just
just
kinda
kind of happened." And this big fat guy dressed as a baby has sat on her whittled horse and broken the legs off of it.
Yeah, what a
And
dick.
That's the
Wow.
straw that.
How did he took the horse off the
Yeah.
shelf, put it down, and sat on it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I-
his job. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, his
like,
job was
your
to
role
get
in
her
this
to
movie
go
is to
talk to
break
Pauly
that.
Shore,
Oh, I'm
who's
sorry.
dressed as like a cabana, like a what
Yeah,
is
he's
it?
got, like, the fruit on his
the
head.
fruit basket and like
You
the,
see,
The coconuts,
the coconut.
over his titties.
Yeah,
God, I know what that's called. It's the not Fruit of the Looms.
Chiquita banana.
Chiquita banana. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
You
the,
see her on the
like
stickers.
the girl on the Chiquita banana
The
sticker.
stickers on the bananas.
But
yeah.
so she goes and she goes to call home and he's like,
Yeah, she's gonna leave.
yeah,
she's
and,
done.
and she's like, I'm calling home. He's like, why? And she's like, no, I'm leaving. And he's like, no. And like he snaps out of it. He's not doing like the let's
Because
be
he's
all
super weird, super off the wall
Yeah.
before this.
Yeah.
And this is
best
the
is
first
that-
moment where he kind of like
because
becomes
he's
a normal
filming
person.
like these new freshman girls. That he's like, you have charisma. It's a
Dude, when he-
college of leadership, and he keeps doing
when he
it.
comes into her room and he's like, "Oh, you giving me like charisma," and she's like, "What is that?" And he does like
It's
the
a
whole
quality of leadership that distinguishes you from your peers, or something like
yeah.
that.
Oh,
and then
man.
she like they kind of talk a little bit, and he doesn't really get the vibe from her.
He pops the trunk open.
Yeah, pops it open, and then he turns and he's like,
Sees another-
"Oh, you got charisma!" Because a hot girl walks like,
Yeah.
"You got charisma!"
And then they're sitting on like the quad, and he's sitting there like filming people, and this like really goth, like punk looking chick comes up to him, and she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Ah!" he like freaks out.
He's got his type. He definitely he's got his type.
But anyway, so he's doing that within the party. He's like filming and he's like, shaking his costume, whatever. And then he sees Becca calling home and he's like, no. And he like snaps out of it. He becomes like super serious. And then he's like, 5 minutes. If you don't like what I have to say, you can leave. And so she goes into his room and it's when he shows him the picture of him as like a nerd.
When he came in as a freshman.
And she's like, that's you. And he's like, it was. And then I ditched the glasses, grew the Duke, guzzled some bro.
And then...
well, before that is when you get the cameo from Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
He pulls a frog.
It's a joke from Encino Man.
Yeah, he pulls a frog out and lights it with his lighter.
No
and
lines.
Takes a bite out of it.
No lines
and
whatsoever.
Pauly Shore's face tells it so well, too, he's like,
wait.
And then he walks away and he's like,
nice costume.
He walks away, he's like, yeah.
I had a hard time after watching just one of these Pauly Shore movies not talking like him.
Making copy. But anyway, so she's in the room talking to him and he's like, yeah, that was me. And she's like, well, I can't be like that. And he's like, how'd you know? You haven't given it a chance.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, I have. He's like, you've never even left campus.
Yeah. So for like 2.5 months,
She never left campus.
2 months, she never left campus.
So he calls it mingling. That's what you have to do. You got to mingle with the people.
You got to mingle with the people. And then almost immediately,
she says,
she
like,
becomes Crawl.
Yeah, it's crazy because they're going home for Thanksgiving. So from I want to go home on Halloween to I'm going home for Thanksgiving.
For the week of Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. So like the week before.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
So it's 2 weeks. She has cut her hair and dyed it blonde. She started rollerblading on Venice Beach.
She dresses way more slutty.
She dresses way more provocatively. She gets a tattoo.
I like how the intelligence level. I say slutty. He hits us with provocative.
The Thoris is at the Thoris.
The
part that's super funny is how they go to the tattoo parlor and it's Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes. And the funniest part is you use this slide.
Pauly Shore is so like. Are you sure your dumbass wants to get a tattoo?
Well, she's like, what do you think, buddy? And he goes, it's permanent.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting you out of your shell here. Don't do anything you're going to regret,
right,
basically.
Pauly's being the voice of reason.
Not that there's anything wrong with tattoos. They're sweet, but
no.
Come on.
But it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, think about it.
No, even 2 weeks, he's like, it's been like 4 hours, and we've gone from like new hair, new dressing, and now you're getting a tattoo? Like, hold on, bro. Like,
it's
slow
permanent.
it down.
That's why.
Like, take a breather.
What does she say?
And he's like, what's wrong with that? The guy looks at him, and he's like, look at this guy, man. The ink seeps in, gets in the bloodstream. He's cracked out. And the guy's like, he's got a point.
Good point. That's a good point.
Flea is like, you know what? He's actually kind of right.
Like,
so what do you think I should get?
Something feminine.
You pick it. I'll stick it.
Oh, God.
Dude, we play Call of Duty together, and like especially during the pandemic when the lockdown was going on, we played every single day, like at night. Like there'd be a bunch of people on, and they'd be like, you know, you're flying over Verdansk, got to pick where you're gonna drop, gonna fight. They'd always be like, where do you guys want to drop? And I would just say, you pick it, I'll stick it.
And I couldn't, like, I knew it was from a movie, but I could never remember which one it was from.
Oh, really?
And I'm literally watching the movie, and I texted Tyler after that scene, like, it's from Son-in-Law. And he's like, yeah.
Dude, we'll go to dinner with our parents, and they'll be like, hey, where do you guys want to go to dinner? You pick it, I'll stick it.
And this whole time, you're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
start texting him back.
Yeah. But so she gets the tattoo, and then
There's a super funny part where they're on the beach.
Yeah, and
she's like, wow. And he's like,
she has got
God.
charisma.
Look at her. Yeah, she got charisma. That's the kind of girl that I'm going to make my wife.
That's the kind of girl I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy that's all roided out. And
Dude, that guy's
like,
jacked. Yeah.
What happened to that guy?
Steroids. Gotta be careful. Shrivel your cojones up.
No, that's later on in the movie.
Well, he says it there too. He makes a joke about that, and then she's like, oh, his cones are bigger than mine, and he's like Becca,
Travis.
Like, what? Travis? I'm just looking.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
it's so strange. So like in terms of like, so with most movies and characters, there's something called saving the cat. All right. So like you have a character. He can be like the worst person in the world, But then all of a sudden he goes home and he saves a cat from like drowning or falling out. He picks it and he nurses it. And like that brings you on board to like this character. And for me, it was kind of difficult to know where that moment was until they had that interaction on Halloween. Where I was like, okay, with Pauly Shore, he was like, this is a sleazeball, like drug addict, like dude. I was like, I don't trust him, even if I went to college with that kid. Like, I'm like losing up
everything.
Yeah. Even if I was like, I loosened up and I was more like just like him and like totally fine with whatever his world is. I was like, wait, that's the RA. Like, I'd be like on the fence about that.
He's like Van Wilder,
right? Exactly. But then when he has that moment where he's at the end,
but everybody knows him. Still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's been in college for like 13 years.
They're
like
called
Bert
doctors.
Kreischer.
They're called doctors. Yeah. No, but when that happens, so that moment though, where he actually puts some trust, he saves the cat there, where he's like, "Let me tell you about my experience and what you're going through," and then there's kind of building that trust,
gives him some heart, some depth.
Exactly, and I think what was cool about like the film and what they kept doing was they kept playing it like this is strictly platonic, and I think it was kind of a neat, like it was a good relationship, is what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like he was overly trying to get he
wasn't looking for something from her,
right? And she wasn't trying to give it. It was just like we are friends. And we're doing this because we're friends. And that's I think like a signature thing about this movie that I would hang on to. It was like that's why it's fun because
it kind of changes at the end
a little bit.
It takes a little turn. I feel like they cut stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's a weird moment later on when they get further into the story and she says, "Thanks so much for everything this week, Crawl. If it wasn't for you, I'd be engaged." And he's like, "Well, you are engaged."
That's right.
And then they start to kiss, and it's like, wait, what?
Hold on. Yeah.
Like, where does this coming
we
from?
skipped a few pages.
Yeah, like there's been some
you're reading back.
Back it up.
So there's definitely like this weird vibe there where it's like this kind of came almost out of nowhere. Yeah. But I guess like it could work. It didn't feel too out of place in that moment. It just felt like we missed something else.
She like figures out that he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like he's actually smart.
Yeah. Which I think they should have played more.
And I feel and I think they do a really, really good job in this one because they kind of explain how his parents are kind of out there. Like his mom, what does she do?
She works at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, she works at Caesar's Palace, and then his dad sells medical supplies. You may see some of it washed up on the beach here.
Sure.
Yeah, and he lived at the casino. He kind of talks about, and his life kind of was weird.
Yeah.
And then he goes back with her to South Dakota, and he meets the Waltons.
Yeah, but the scene where she invites him back. Everybody is leaving for winter or for Thanksgiving break.
So at the beginning, the phone ring. The girl, they're meeting the roommate, and someone comes in. They're like, "Hey, phone." And she's like, "Communal living," and like leaves. And then she's standing there with the roommate right before they're gonna leave for Thanksgiving. And she's like, "Communal living." I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, I already want to slap this girl."
So she's talking to Travis, and she's like super distracted, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see you there," and she's like, "Oh, whatever."
This guy Travis,
like saying goodbye to people. And
yeah, dude, the girl literally is like, "Bye," and she's like, "Oh, bye," and he goes, "What's wrong with these people?
Why are you talking to other people? I'm on the phone with you right now."
What the hell?
Yeah.
But anyway, Pauly Shore comes out of his room and he's in leopard print onesie and a pilgrim hat.
Yeah.
And
For Thanksgiving.
"Hey, Becca, look, Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs." And she hangs up the phone and goes into his room and she's like, "What are you doing for the holiday?" And he's like, "I'm going to stay here and grub solo."
Yeah, and he's got the Hungry Man.
Vegas
sitting in front of the
and when she walks in, he's reading the Hungry Man box. He's like, "Salisbury steak and blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like pumped about it.
Yeah. She's like, "No, you can't stay here. You have to come with me." He's like, "No, look, Hungry Man just made Thanksgiving platter. What do you feed a hungry man?" And he like does the jingle. So then she convinces him to come to South Dakota. She gets off this plane.
Yeah. Dude, and she is like...
And her brother's holding a sign that says...
Go home,
Becca. Go home, Becca. Yeah. And the dad's like, "Zach," and he hits him, and it says like... And then
turns it around.
And then the Travis like gives him a noogie or whatever.
I gotta say, that gave me a great idea for one of those.
But she comes off the plane, and she's like howling at the moon. I'm like, dude, it's been like 2.5 weeks.
Well, she does the Pauly Shore thing. And like... Yeah. No, and like Pauly Shore's like laugh that like she did it really close to it, and I know that laugh because of Goot Troop.
Yeah, she tries really hard to like play up the Pauly.
But Tyler's favorite scene happens when they're driving back to the.
I don't know why this has always been like it's always stuck with me. They get in the truck and he like slaps the top of the truck and he's riding in the bed and they take off and it's like Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. And I wish that song had continued a little longer because he's in the back and he's like, that truck is moving and he's just standing there not holding on to anything.
Oh,
he's singing.
Yeah, and he's letting it rip.
I gotta tell you, those country folk out there and those dirt roads and everything, there's no speed limit. They're going as fast as they can get there.
Like,
that's the speed limit.
Is this safe for me to not die? That's how fast I'm gonna go.
No. So
maybe a little bit faster.
I think we need to talk about like strict points about problems with Travis, and then also problems with Theo.
Yeah, well, we're getting to Theo.
We're totally
so
getting
he
there.
meets Theo, the farmhand, because he's there, and
that's when he does the whole like
Middle America, and he's like on the phone. He's like, "Here, film this."
What the hell are you doing?
And he's like getting some pipe. Woo! And he's like, and the dad's looking at him. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I get excited.
Then he, like,
I've never been here before."
Chases after the chickens.
Yeah. He's like, "You guys have chickens?"
Bro, that's that
Original
energy.
recipe or extra crispy?
Bro, that's that energy when I got to the party. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna have fun." And it was like, that's the energy.
Yeah.
He ran off, and it's like,
but
it might be on there.
That's when he goes over and he starts to go into the pin. And
and
that's when Theo says,
and Theo's like, "Don't
hey,
go in
City,
there.
I wouldn't go in there.
I wouldn't go in there." City Slicker or
City.
something.
Calls him City.
Yeah, just calls him City because the big bull is there, and he
it's
hugs
weird
him
because I didn't notice, but when it shows the bull and the bull brings its head up and hits the fence, you can see the string.
Oh yeah, like tugging on the
attached
bull
to the bull's head. I don't know if it's a real bull or if or if they just like tugged on it.
animatronic
just to
angry.
get it to aggravate it.
Yeah.
But so their whole relationship, though, man, I thought was hilarious. And
Theo
then I
and
was,
City?
yeah, Theo and City, Theo and
Pauly Shore.
and Pauly
Yeah.
Shore's character. I thought it was
Crawl.
absolutely hilarious because like he's always like trying to like hug him and like, oh, I thought you didn't care. And like,
You gotta stop
or he's
doing
like,
that.
And he's like, you gotta stop doing that. Or then he's like touching his
I thought
tummy.
you were a burglar.
Yeah. He starts
you were a
touching his
burglar.
tummy and he's like, oh, you should work on those abs, get rid of that gut and stuff like. And like, I thought that was so
You should do
funny.
water
time.
You should do water aerobics.
You should switch to light.
And I think that's where this movie failed, though, is that like because at the end it found out that Theo is part of the villainous
piece of
act.
crap.
Well, if you watch the movie, the
Theo's a
whole
piece of
time
crap the
Theo's a
entire
piece
time.
of shit.
But I felt like what would have won me over more was that Pauly gets to Theo.
But he gets to the dad.
Yeah, he gets to the
so
dad.
I think it's way more important to do it the other way around because
That he's the villain?
The goal is for him to become part of the family.
Okay.
And Theo was a piece of shit before he met City.
Yeah.
Like he's just a shitty redneck guy. And Pauly Shore is this good-hearted, honest weirdo.
Yeah.
And the more time that's what I was talking about before. The more time he spends with the quote unquote Waltons, who they're not the Waltons, but he said he calls them the Waltons because they fit those characters. The more normal he starts to become.
Yeah.
In like
And the
in
more
his
normal he
mannerisms
seems
and
to them.
right.
as
Well, yeah, and his
yeah.
behavior is just like. And he even says when he comes in from that whole chicken thing, which is why I went into it, he's like, sorry about before. I was just really excited. Never been here before. And it's like, when I get excited, that behavior comes out.
Yeah.
But like, I am kind of normal. And then he's like, I'm going to go munch on some grindage. Yeah.
But
And then,
the dad keeps calling him the wrong name. Like
Yeah.
he calls him like crotch or crap or something like that. But the little brother's like mad that he has to be in the room with him.
Yeah.
So he makes him a sandwich. He brings it up. He's like, "You want this?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"No." He's like, "I'm gonna leave it over here in case you get hungry later."
But you didn't think by the end of that movie if like Theo was like on his team, like,
Thought
you
it was
know
way
what?
better to
You
do it the other
won
way
me
around.
over. Like you won me over. I'm totally on board with you being like
because it was
just this wild,
they needed,
weird, crazy
they needed
dude.
Theo to help turn the family.
My whole point about with that side though is like this Travis asshole.
But Travis couldn't do it alone.
Yeah, he couldn't do it alone. But did you see at that bachelor party he threw? Like he had plenty of other asshole friends.
Yeah.
That could have helped. Like picking Theo to do that in the story. I thought I just felt like he could have won him over.
I think what it was easy.
And he has keys to the
And
barn.
Theo
all
comes
that,
over to
yeah.
him and says like, hey, I see you're getting real friendly with City over there. Like, it's
Right.
bothering him.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
And he keeps making Theo look like an idiot. After the first day when Theo pulls all these pranks on him, like, the guy throws him into a pile of shit, like, the first thing.
And then throws a freaking pitchfork at his head and almost kills him.
It's like, dude, come on, man,
So
relax.
he convinces Walter, the dad, to let him like try his hand at farming.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, the best part is when he tells him he can do it. He's like, "Oh my God, me, a genuine farmer! I can't believe it! Hallelujah!" So funny. And so he's learning how to do all this stuff, and he's like feeding the pigs and all this. And Theo gets like the big like alpha pig to like run him
hog.
over,
Yeah,
the
try
hog
to-
to run
take
him
him
over.
out, yeah.
And then he gets him to hit the fence with the
tractor.
like with the
That
tractor
first
and
gear
all
is a
stuff.
little tricky.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, and he's like, "Theo, help," because he can't stop. And so then the dad's like, "Well, you know, you cost me this much money.
Yeah.
You're not gonna." He's like, "I'm just finding my groove."
Yeah.
He's like,
Is
you
it-
find your group cost me $1,000
$1,000
today.
today,
I
yeah.
lost half my chickens. Now wait, he broke a fence that had like 4 slats like this, and that was keeping your chickens in.
This was pre-pandemic.
These are like prehistoric chickens. They're like gigantic.
They're pterodactyls.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I love that was one of my favorite scenes. To talk about favorite scenes in this movie was when he takes the harvester out.
Yeah.
And
The
it's-
combine.
And they start
That's my
chasing
favorite
him.
song
That was
scene from the movie is when
Okay.
you get the John
John
Denver.
Denver.
the John Denver. Yeah, well, life on the farm.
Yeah, thank
and,
God I'm a country
country
boy.
boy,
And he's
yeah.
like dry, and then the plane flies over and it says "crawl" in the
I thought that was
field,
really
yeah.
funny, but even as a child, it bothered me. Like, there's no way he could have cut crawl.
Cut
into that
crawl.
guy.
Perfectly.
Especially like that W is perfect. So what did he like pull up and stop, and then like
Reverse it.
how did he get it like? Pull
The-
it up
I don't
again.
know. The best is he's
These are
chasing-
the weird things that bother my
The best
my
he's chasing-
like logical mind.
He's chasing Theo around with the excavator.
Yeah, he's like, hey, we're supposed
gonna
to be
get you,
friends.
Theo.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, get that guy.
That
get
one
that
was
guy.
so funny. That's
Whoa.
what yeah.
But the scene before that, he makes me even happier because he's like finding his groove farming.
Yeah.
Like he puts on his rollerblades to feed the
Yeah.
cows. And
Well, because when they're at lunch and the dad is like ripping into him,
he's like, "I'm not gonna quit."
he's like, no, I'm gonna go back out there because he says like, y'all are fighting so much.
Right.
Yeah.
It all started when I came here, and I really wanted to like hug him and say, no, they were shitty to each other before.
They
you
were
got here."
terrible people.
Like, if you remember the
before you
beginning,
got
he
here.
does exactly
whole,
like you were saying.
He does like the pause.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna leave, and then he's like, he
No,
goes,
no.
and he's like, oh, I gotta grab my stuff.
No,
Turns
from,
around.
from like a therapy psychology point, you're the needle that busted their bubble of,
Yeah.
of problems.
Yeah, it
okay?
made them better people
Yeah.
just the way they're making you a better
Just
person.
acknowledge, but like that scene when he's like telling you, "I'm the problem, I'll just leave," and that cracked me up more than any other joke in that movie. Is when he's walking away and he slowly turns back. He's just going, "Yeah, exactly."
He's like, are you really gonna let me leave?
I guess my stuff is upstairs, and then he goes away again.
So him and Becca, the reason they all hate him even more is because him and Becca are pretending they're engaged because she doesn't want to marry
Yeah,
Travis.
because
dude, red flags from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I think she was just like
We
her.
dated in high school. That means we gotta get married now.
No, it's just like I think like just intuition, just female intuition was telling her like,
Oh, yeah,
this
she
is
knew. Something's
not-
wrong.
Yeah, something's up. This is not who I need to be with for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and so she stomps on his foot at like this country club where he proposes, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I already asked her already." And he gets,
I asked Becca at school.
and then he gets punched in the face, and he's like,
Why did you do that? Yeah, I love how like they just tell the guy that has been her boyfriend for like 10 years that they got engaged in 3 months
Yeah.
at school while they were still boyfriend and girlfriend, and then they go and try to like, will you
Smooth it
just
over
talk to
with
me
it.
about it? Like, no, you bitch, get away from me. And then then that's a really funny part too when they're like driving back in the truck. And he's like, oh, Blaze, like, And she's like, oh, man, Crawl, like, you know, I can't believe it. And he's like, well, you stomped on my foot. I stood up and said the first thing that came to my head. We should just tell him the truth. And she's like, no, we'll write it out for the week. And then we'll tell him at school we broke up at school. And
It's a good plan. It's a solid plan.
He's like,
Yeah.
so we get to stay engaged.
Okay.
Cool.
So can I get some tongue? And she's like, oh, crud. She smacks him and he hits him in the face. And he's like, ah.
Look at my nose. It's never going to be straight now.
Yeah, well, not to mention,
And they get back to the house. And the funny thing with the grandfather,
The grandpa's always
"Can I
sitting
whittle
there.
some wood with
He's
you?"
always whittling wood on the porch.
Are you Bartlett or James, like the Drake? He's like, everyone in California loves your wine coolers. I don't know why he sounds Mexican, but he does when he talks.
Can I Holmes?
Exactly. Like, you get a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and then like
Lucky.
you get the like at that part. That's where they have that awkward moment where it's like you are engaged, like all that stuff. And,
Well, that's later.
yeah, and then the grandpa's there and he's like, "Can I please whittle wood with you?"
Yeah, that's after the
Please.
dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the grandfather's like, "Ah, hell," and he's like, "Awesome," and he grabs
like,
like
grab
this
a piece of wood from
giant
the bu-
log, and he's like, "I majored in woodworking my freshman year,
My second
freshman year."
my second one.
And so,
God.
yeah, but like he starts to help the family. Like he has the wife put on
Well, that's
makeup.
before that scene with the
Yeah.
grandfather, they're gonna go to
Like a hoedown.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a square dance, and he comes into the bathroom thinking it's Rebecca,
and
grabs her by the waist, and
Oh,
he's like, "Oh,
God,
hey!"
this
And
scene.
the mom
Sweetie.
like stands up, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Rebecca." And she's like, "Yeah, well, if you could leave." And he's like, "Hey, but you're like kind of hot."
He's like,
and he
"Miss-"
says, "You're giving me a semi."
he goes, "Miss Walton, don't take this the wrong way, but you're giving me a semi."
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, dude, what?
What? This was Buena Vista, which is a subdivision of Disney,
Yeah.
and somebody wrote off semi
Yeah, you're
in
giving
that
me a
script.
semi.
Heck yeah.
Giving me a semi.
That's how you get it past the censors.
So they dropped some curse words and stuff in this.
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
though.
they did. What did the bastard? I think was
Yeah,
one of them,
like
or something.
asshole
An
or
asshole.
something like that.
Oh, that was funny though when Theo's like he sometimes responds to
Yeah,
asshole. They're like, what's his name again? Crip Cross.
I love that scene too. I don't know why I loved it so much when Coach Riley is
Coach
running,
Riley.
is running after him, like trying to get him out of the combine. And he's like, "Theo, you idiot! I told you to keep an eye on him. That's a $250,000 piece of machinery." It's a what? How much?
Machine.
Yeah, he's like, it's a $250,000 machine. It's like machine.
And then Theo's like, "Not anymore."
Yeah, not anymore. But I'm like, I for some reason I got so stuck on it, like,
Yeah.
machine.
Which we
Yeah,
got.
so the first person he helps is Zach. Zach has like a computer virus on his computer, which I can only
can't
assume
get
is
past.
he's trying to go to websites he's probably not supposed to be at.
Well, he does have a subscription.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Playboy.
maybe what like just to put us in a lane here, should we do? Let's talk about problems with Zach, and then let's roll over
Yeah,
to
then we'll get the problems.
problems
Yeah,
with
so
Travis.
problems
Okay,
with
so problem
Zach.
with Zach.
He's creepy. He has a subscription to Playboy, and he's like 8.
He has no boundaries
You're right.
either.
That's the
Absolutely
thing.
none.
He's
Completely.
got a cool room though. Even Pauly Shore's
Yeah.
like, "This is a dope setup you have here, Zach."
And he's a total jackass.
Yeah.
From the very beginning of the movie, like his humor is mean to everybody. He's
Not likable
And
at all.
as soon as that whole scene goes down in his room,
He becomes a much
where he realizes like, oh wait, like Crawl's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, and he's really nice to me.
Yeah.
And he treats me like a person instead of like a child.
Yeah.
And he's into the same things I'm into. Like we're kind of turning the tide a little bit
Yeah,
here
just
already.
a hair. Yeah,
It's
just
Where he
enough.
says like,
yeah.
he's like, no, you're
you're just an old hacker
well,
like
he's like
me,
you're peeking
disguised
your,
as an
your
idiot.
subtext on your
Oh yeah, but
That-
your RAM wasn't there, so I just boost the outage.
Which, as a computer person, was complete nonsense.
Yeah, none of it, man. Well, and also
The
he
characters
like
show up
types-
in like rainbow
yeah, he
colors.
types in hieroglyphics.
One of them was like the theory.
Dude, it looks like he just held shift and just started hitting numbers on the
He
keyboard.
just had a seizure on
Yeah.
top of the
Yeah.
keyboard.
He was like,
He turned the font to wingdings and just started going to town.
Some of those characters, I was like, bro, that's not how that works exactly. And he said like PRAM, and I was just like,
But then he's like, "How'd you
Whoa.
get good at computers?" He's like, "Well, I'm by myself at Caesar's Palace, just clicking away."
yeah,
went on a solo mission.
just hacking casino. Because like I kind of felt like they were going to like they intended to play up more that he's like secretly a genius.
Yeah.
Like and like classes and majors and stuff are just easy for him, and maybe he's done like
He's
some.
like, "You're just an
I
old
think he's
hacker
like,
like
just doing
me."
like the Burt Kreischer
disguised
thing
as
where
an
it's like,
idiot.
who cares? I'm just having fun in college.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah."
yeah,
But the
that's
best
me.
is where he's like, "I can help you, but it would require me to touch your
Touch your
computer."
computer,
Because
yeah.
he's like, "Don't
Rule
touch
number
my
one,
stuff."
don't touch anything.
stuff.
What's rule number two? There's only one rule. Don't touch anything.
I got it. I'm taking this back.
Yeah. Yeah, he takes a sandwich back.
Were there any?
Which,
Other, was
that
that
sandwich was just bread and lettuce. Both of them.
I think I saw a little piece of ham.
Like they could have put a little bit more. Like I don't have any problem with lettuce on a sandwich, but I don't want like the entire head of
you want
lettuce.
some sandwich to go with your lettuce?
Exactly.
It's basically a salad, is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Like, can we toast the bread at least?
Tyler, your anti-salad is on here.
Oh, no, I won't lie. Unless it's
But,
Caesar with some.
But then
extra
Zach gets a
dressings.
lot better after that. Like he.
Well,
Like
Becca
he starts,
comes in and
he
threatens
starts
to.
defending Becca. Like at
Well,
the
Becca comes in to talk to Crawl about like Travis almost proposing.
Yeah.
And which problem with Travis?
Yeah.
Right there. Like didn't realize that as soon as he was like, oh, I realized how much
She
I love you.
hyperventilated.
Will you marry me? She's like, dude, just you saying "will you" made her almost die.
Yeah.
So you should probably like rethink this.
Sorry,
But the red flags are waving.
The red flags of that because were there any other big problems with Zach? Because I felt like he started turning after that.
There's one more like really big one where
Hit that.
and it's Pauly Shore that's kind of stops him in his thinking because when Pauly does the whole like it's me, I'm the problem, I'm gonna leave, and they tell him to come back. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to take some of this to go. I got more work to do.
Yeah.
And Zach says, like, I'll come help you.
Yeah.
And the dad is like,
Oh,
wait, what?
He's getting my son off his ass.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, nobody gets him up to do stuff. So he goes out to milk the cow because when he tried to milk the cow the first time, the cow just peed on his head. And he's like, oh, be careful with this button. And just bad things happen.
That's like when the cow pees on his head, he goes, oops. Wrong button.
Yeah, no, I missed this part. What does he say there? Where he's like, he's
like, it's like
that?
a tit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not like a real tit.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
And then he said, "This is the
You
grossest
ever
part."
feel my sister?
He's like, "I felt a lot of strange cones out in L.A." And he goes, "You ever feel my sisters?"
And then Pauly
And
Shore's like,
Pauly Shore says he turns to him and holds his finger out and says, "Dave, don't talk about your sister." And it's
Stop.
There's no joking in his voice or anything. He says, "Don't talk about your sister like that."
Stop. Yeah.
And the kid from that moment on is a different kid.
Yeah, dude.
Like he changes him
and he
as a
teaches
person.
him how to, and then Pauly Shore goes, you're right, it's not like a real tit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, see."
Man, you gotta put that because that kid was like looking at porn and like I mean God knows what
There's
he was doing
another
with his
gross
computer.
part after that, but it's not with Zach. Where when they come back from the dance and they almost have the kiss, and then he's like, he comes in and it's the mom and the son sitting in the kitchen.
Yeah,
the dad is not in there yet. No, he's not. And he says, he grabs Rebecca's ass as he like walks by.
Oh yeah,
Crawl does.
Yeah,
and then he says, Rebecca left me with a semi last night, but Zach hooked me up with the last month's issue and the
Playboy.
And the poisons have
poison-
left the building.
And it's like, oh, what? Like what?
Happy Thanksgiving,
Hey,
everybody.
you guys ready for breakfast?
I want you to remind Drew
You
that
guys
I
want
hope
some
you
eggs?
had a wonderful
hey, you know what,
time
breakfast?
this Black Friday and had enough turkey and stuff because we just had multiple masturbation jokes on this program.
Yeah, what's wrong with masturbation jokes?
Thank
Have
you
ever
for
felt your
joining
sister's
us as always, and just like and subscribe. Follow along if you want to get that. No, so
Yeah.
so yeah,
And then the dad
that's
comes in,
one of
which is
them.
really funny because that was after Pauly's character got the mom to like
Get
kinda
all hot again.
get all done up
Yeah.
and makeup, and that's all so fun. That whole scene is so funny. Where
Yeah.
she goes to the thing, and the dad is kind of like, "Oh man,
Whoa.
holy crap!"
And the guy asks her to dance.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hell no, get the hell out of here!"
Get the hell out of
And
here.
you like Coach Riley kind of reared his ugly head.
He
there for a
did.
second.
He was like,
but
"You
then
ever play for the
Pauly
Hawks?"
Shore gets on stage to do
Yes.
like the calling for the square
Yes.
dance, and he's like, "If your gal is finger licking, come on now and do the funky chicken." And they're all like,
If your guy looks good, go ahead and buff the wood. Buff the wood. Buff the
and they're all
wood.
dancing. It's
Yeah, they're
all
loving it.
older people
They're loving
dancing,
it.
and then he's like, "Spring around and make it crusty."
Yeah, like what? This is what he says. And then he stage dives.
And they catch him and throw
And
him back.
he gets the
And
old guy to stage dive and
they
he just
miss.
hits the ground. And I love how the guy like pops back up. He's like,
Hey.
Doesn't he
yay!
yell 747 coming in?
Yeah, he goes, 747, taking off.
This was a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I want everyone to remember this is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And like
It's a
every other
great
joke
movie.
is having a hard on
Yeah.
Yes.
or masturbating.
But then-
But it technically wasn't a Disney movie, and that's why they do that.
Right,
It's like
right.
They have
It's
their
Buena
outside
Vista.
studios.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
so
Buena
and then
Vista.
that's when Travis has the brilliant idea to throw him a bachelor party and
Yeah.
to drug him
Dude.
Which I feel like it would take a lot more drugs than like 3 pills to drug Pauly Shore.
Dude, if you go back and you watch that,
That's true. They drop,
Theo
like,
dumps half the freaking
true.
prescription
Whole
bottle.
thing.
He
Yeah,
probably ODs
Yeah.
off that drink.
Yeah, this movie ended with, he died. That's,
Yeah,
that's
him and Kelly Kapowski are dead in the
well,
bar.
the crazy part is like they're talking to him like, I hate you, city boy, but you sure can drink
Yeah.
your face off or
Yeah.
something like that.
Because he's super fun. Everybody learns that when you hang out, like he's super annoying from afar, but once you get to know him, he's like actually really fun.
really fun.
And
He's like, you should invest in a beer bong.
yes, you can drink all the beers once. It's super fun.
It's never a dull conversation.
Then
That's the
we
thing.
get like the greatest moment of the whole movie where Tiffany Amber Thiessen
Where the
comes
second
in.
Saved by the Bell cast member strips on camera.
Well, she
Oh
doesn't
my
even
God.
like
No,
really
she
strip.
just gets
She
to a rhinestone bikini.
Yeah, she's got like a rhinestone bikini top on and like drops her dress down, and then they
Pauly Shore
pass out.
passes
But
out.
like, what's her role in this
Well,
town?
he calls her, like, she does whatever Travis wants.
Yeah, because she's
Okay.
in love with Travis. She like,
but
wants
like, I
him.
mean, like stripper. She's adding that onto
Dude,
it. Like,
and that's
her-
another problem with Travis. Let's
Yeah.
get back to. He
Problems.
calls on his side piece
Okay.
to strip for his ex-girlfriend's now fiance.
Fiance, quote unquote.
Who they're
yeah.
friends, like her and Tiffany are friends.
Yeah,
They seem
Although
okay.
Rebecca's-
Tracy.
It's a small
Rebecca's
town.
kind of weird with
Yeah.
her. Like when you meet, when you're like,
It's because she's hotter.
yeah, it is. And that's the really weird part where Crawl comes out and that part is hysterical when he goes to buy some clothes. And he does like the whole like inbreeders to the old guy.
Inbreeders.
Yeah. And then when they're walking inside and they've got like all the clothes and she's got like the multiple hats on her head. There's a little girl and the girl's like, "Come on, honey," and she goes, "I was mingling," and like gets taken away. Yeah, like a little girl.
No, but then when Tiffany Amber Thiessen meets him,
Yeah.
he's coming out and he's in
like,
chaps.
"Cheek chillers,
And
you
he's
like?"
Introduce.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
like
yeah.
does it like
And she's like, "Crawl, what are you wearing?" He's got like the chaps and it has a little cowboy hat over the penis area, over the crotch.
and he's like, you
then
like?
She's like,
I hates.
And he's
he
like,
goes,
"They're cheek chillers."
He goes, okay. And like he goes to walk away and he's not wearing anything underneath and their assless
Yes,
chaps.
ass is just out.
That's-
And Tiffany Amber
That's
Thiessen
the
is like,
second
"Not
male
bad."
ass of the movie. You want to see that? That's the second one you get.
Yeah, because the Stilton towel guy, you see his
Oh, that's
butt.
right.
towel guy at the door.
Yeah, it's probably the same ass.
This is Pauly Shore.
It's not really Pauly
It's
Shore's
an
ass
ass
in the
double.
second.
It's an ass
Exactly,
double. Yeah.
exactly. I want my ass to look nice
But
on
Tiffany
camera.
Amber
if
Thiessen
they
at that
don't-
point is like, not bad.
Yeah,
Like, he likes-
she's like, all right, she's kind of into it. She's
yeah.
kind of feeling Crawl a little bit.
So problems with Travis. Travis in
Yeah.
his lane.
So
Already he seems like
he
an
brings his side
overbearing.
piece in.
Yeah.
to
He
sleep
He
with
cheats on his girlfriend.
cheating
who
on
he's
her.
trying to
Oh,
propose to.
yes.
He's overbearing. He's obviously
Super
like
overbearing and
super
aggressive.
like jealous and aggressive, and then like was super pissed that like he didn't get any
Yeah.
the night
And then-
before she left.
Maybe the weirdest part of Travis to me, other than he does like so many horrible things that he does, but like
Yeah.
this is just weird, like out there, strange. So the next morning they find him in the barn. That Theo and them set him into the barn, and
They make it look like they slept together.
right.
Right.
They drug him and they put him in the barn and make it look like they did it.
This was
they
for
banged.
kids.
They boned.
No, this was not for kids.
This is a
for
family movie.
teenagers.
It's a
They
family movie.
Yeah. And they boned, yeah. And Travis goes to the house and he talks to her in the barn, or he
No, he
talks to
talks
her
to
out
her in the
front by
car.
the car.
Yeah.
What are you doing
Yeah,
here?
and she's like, I don't know, I don't remember anything. And then he basically tells her, like, you're a huge slut, you
He
were all
basically
over Crawl.
gaslights her.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, and is like, what kind of person are you?
You're so low.
You're so low. It's like, whoa, dude,
Wow,
oh my God,
dude.
man.
Yeah, that's psychopath. Like,
Think about if this movie doesn't turn out the way it does, she carries that with her the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's like what kind of
she's
therapy?
damaged forever.
And so she notices that it's hard for her
Her
to
seat
drive
is way
'cause her
back.
seat's way back.
Yeah.
And then she's driving away and finds the prescription bottle.
Yeah,
Which
down the
I'm
road.
like,
But-
what name was on that prescription bottle? Did you ever think of like
Theo.
say Travis asshole on there? Like,
No, it said
I
Theo's
think it's
fat
really
ass.
funny. Yeah. I think it's really funny when she finds them and she like pours the milk out and like, and she goes, oh, excuse me, oh, oops, yeah. And Pauly Shore is like, back away. And he's like, But then they have like the big argument where,
It's not
he's
even
like-
real anyway. You're like, oh, well, this is your fault. Like,
Yeah, he's like, you brought me here because you knew Travis was,
Yeah.
and she kind of did.
Right.
Like, it wasn't that she was like really good friends with him.
He's like, I don't even want to be your friend.
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm gonna tell you
which
this.
was like, ouch.
I'm gonna tell you this. Like one of
Burn.
the big moments, like the red flag moments, is like when they come into that country club meeting in the middle of the movie, and Travis is sitting there, and he turns and looks at her. He gives her the most psychotic smile.
He does.
And I hope, as viewers, please
go
go
check
back
it
and
out.
watch
Go
that.
check it
The
out.
most psychotic smile. And I'm gonna do my best right now. But it's like all upper teeth. And so he turns, he looks at her, and it's just.
Yes.
He's like, oh, that guy's murdered people before. Like, there's missing livestock and like middle schoolers, and they're in that guy's basement somewhere. Whoa, like, watch out.
So,
Well, then they have the fight, and she leaves. Like, she goes out, and she says, like, the parents, like, where are you going? And she's like, out. And
Pauly Shore packs up and leaves.
yeah, Pauly Shore is like, yeah, forget this. Like, I'm
Fine.
out of here,
Yeah.
or whatever. And he has the whole meaningful conversation with Zach, and he's like,
Squeeze your cheeks.
yeah, he's like, if you find any juicy hot nugs out in California,
save
send
one
them my
for me.
way.
Nugs.
Which is like totally
That's okay.
fine at that
Yeah.
point.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
They're bros.
yeah,
then.
because they're bros, and that's totally something that Pauly Shore would have said, like
Fine.
Crawl would have said.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can have my hat if you let me squeeze your cheeks.
That's
And he's like, and then
Don't you feel like that was improv? Like that was like he was just
the
wanting
whole
to.
squishy cheek thing was
Yeah.
way inappropriate the whole
That's
time.
Definitely his
And then
own.
he's doing like he's like, all right, buddy. And he does, and like, he's like, okay. And then he goes, yeah, because they're milking the cow. They're milking the cow. And he goes, oh, you did the sound a little bit. Okay, yeah. And, like, I don't know why, but that whole
Like,
thing
very
was super,
subtle, like,
yeah,
he did it.
exactly.
So he's trying
Well,
to hitchhike back.
No, the
Oh.
problem that I have, the weirdest part to me, like your smile thing,
yeah.
she comes out the door and she's getting in like the swing.
Oh yeah.
And Travis is just standing on their porch, like where the grandfather whittles wood.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's Thanksgiving morning.
dude.
Why is this dude outside my house? He's
hovering.
not knocking on the front door. He's
Hovering.
just standing there.
Yeah.
Like hanging out.
Just wait. Just thinking like, okay, if nothing else happens, I'll just murder them.
Yeah,
That's
like, well, this doesn't work.
I'll just get that
Hey,
shotgun.
Theo, you ready?
The chicken had
It's time
a
to
heart-
rape and
the
kill.
turkey
Oh,
had a
God.
heart attack.
Like, it's so horrible.
The turkey had a heart attack. Maybe you should kiss him.
Yeah, dude, we didn't even talk about that whole scene.
Oh man. So
Yeah, where that's when Walter really comes around
The
to
dad,
him.
they go
Yeah.
fishing and the
Because he calls him out because he's like, you're exactly like
Yeah,
your
he's like-
father is to Zach.
he's like, oh, my
Yeah.
dad hates me, doesn't like the
Yeah.
way I do things. He's like, well, that's how Zach feels. And he's like, well, he's playing them games. He's like, it's not games to him.
Yeah.
He's
He's
what
like-
he's into. And he's not asking you to
That's
do
the
it.
thing. And I felt like that in the past where like my dad, like when we were growing up, we always used to play video games. And my dad's like, oh, what are you doing with these video games? I'm like, you didn't have them. You don't
Yeah.
understand. Like,
Yeah.
I get it, but like, get off my back about
I'm
it.
not asking you
Like,
to
I
do
don't
it.
sit on my ass in front of the TV all night. I sit on my
Oh,
ass
and then
in
at
front of the
Thanksgiving
TV
dinner, he's
playing video.
playing the Nintendo
Yes,
fishing
yeah.
game with him on the Game Boy.
Yes.
But anyway, the grandfather like forgets to take his heart medication and
We
has
get
like
so
a
upset
Yeah.
over the dumbest.
yeah, because he's not
Crap.
casting correctly or something.
Yeah, he's like, you do all that sidearm stuff. You got to go over the top,
Over
Junior.
the top,
And then he's like,
man.
Dad, like, okay, I like to do it the way I do it. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, there's no respect.
Like, just give me some space. Oh, spice.
Like,
all
what the hell?
right.
Why is he,
He
so
just
upset?
wanders off.
It was almost like, okay, we need to get him off camera.
Please.
This is ridiculous, but it'll work. Trust me. And it did.
But so he has like a heart attack at Pauly Shore's like third freshman year. Assess the situation.
I took
Old guy's
CPR.
dying.
Like hold the nostrils.
Gramps is dying.
Administer
That's
administer mouth to mouth, and he wakes up as
Yeah.
Pauly Shore's about to give mouth to mouth, and the dad comes over with the pills. He's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Tried to kiss me."
Yeah. And he's like, if it's between dying and him kissing me, let me die.
And he takes the pill, and he's like, "I'd rather die."
I'd rather die.
So then he goes to kill the Thanksgiving turkey, and he scares it by doing the
Yes.
and it passes out, and he puts it in the sink, and the grandfather's like, "That turkey had a heart attack. Maybe you should give him a kiss."
Yeah, dude. And then he pulls
the tail
feathers
feather
and
and
they
it-
start freaking
it
out because it
wakes
comes
up.
back to life.
And he's
runs
like,
around.
"It's a Thanksgiving miracle."
Yeah. Then they have the whole fight, the whole thing later, and then they, like you said, Pauly Shore's hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And Tiffany Amber Thiessen comes back.
And she's like,
we got to talk.
No, she goes, get in. And he goes, don't you think we spent enough time around here?
around each other? We need to talk now. And he's like, he sits down. He goes, I just wish I could remember.
No,
if
she
I
goes,
was good or
she
not.
goes, I think I figured out why we can't remember anything. And he's like, I just wish I could remember if I was good or not.
Such a Pauly Shore move in that movie.
Honestly,
and then they,
though,
like,
with like Kelly from
confront
Saved
the
by the
family.
Bell, yeah, I would have been upset too.
100%.
Me too.
And then they like confront the family, and you figure out that like Theo's a big piece of shit, and like helped him do it. And
Travis is a big piece of shit.
and she
Well,
talks
Travis,
about,
like they immediately invite Travis to stay for Thanksgiving
and he
dinner.
starts giving a speech.
Yeah, he's like, I'm glad that we could all be together here with family. I'm like, you don't have any family here.
Who are you?
Not a single person in this room is your family member.
Where are your parents, by the way?
Did you
'Cause,
kill
like,
them too?
Yeah. Are they in the basement?
Yes.
No, they're in the cornfield.
They're under the gazebo. That's why I go and stand there
I
on
made Carl run him
Thanksgiving.
over with the excavator.
Oh God. Yeah, they were in cahoots.
But she's like, and when my car was so pushed back, I couldn't reach the pedals.
Yeah,
Pauly
you
Shore's
saw me drive off with
somebody really
Awful big must have been
driving.
a hoss. Yeah. And then Theo, he basically like turns to Theo and Walter.
He's like, your job depends on it.
Yeah, he's like, if you ain't telling the truth, or if you ain't giving us everything, you need to start talking right now. Your job depends on it.
You ain't helping me coach that minor league.
Yeah, that's
little
right.
league.
You didn't help me
hockey
get any
later.
of them cookies.
any of them hawks. And he's like, oh, we're just having fun. And so it
I didn't think everybody gets so upset.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Fun is a
And then
felony.
so- yeah.
like let's talk about that.
So he keeps like yelling at Crawl, and then finally the grandpa's like, now you just hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody's been harsh on his buzz since he got here, so you need to just chill.
Yeah. He says even more ridiculous stuff, but yeah, totally.
And then Pauly
Dude,
Shore's
the weirdest part to me, let's go back to problems with Travis.
Hit me.
Becca's like, you need to leave.
Yeah,
you need to leave
he's
right
like-
now. And he says, you can't talk to me like that.
Oh yes.
And not only that, but it gets even worse because Pauly Shore goes, you're right, but I can. Like,
What?
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But the best is he elbows him and then
Yeah.
punches him in the face, and he goes, I majored in karate for 2 semesters.
He's majored in everything.
But he said that like you said that in front of your dad. You said that around of James, like in front of Coach Riley.
Coach
You said
Riley.
that, like you're not. He's not going to get up.
Yeah, but
immediately
he's got to show him your man.
and like kick his ass.
Man.
Are you kidding me? The Travis.
You can't talk to me like that?
Yeah. What
Woman.
agreement?
Yeah, no woman
No,
can't
it's-
talk to me like that.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah, that's a lady.
Now you're letting me down. You're letting your team
Yeah,
down.
you're not just, hey, Crawl, if you don't hit him, you're not just letting me down, you're letting the family down too. Okay?
And your dead dad. He's not dead yet, but he will be, and then he'll be let down when he's dead.
I wish your dad that makes plastic could have been here to see this.
That's right. That is right.
So that movie ends with like a callback to the beginning where they try to take a family photo at their graduation, and then it's them taking a family photo together, like with Pauly
With Crawl.
Shore, with Crawl.
Well, and they do the whole thing where he demands that she tells him the truth because
Yeah.
he's really starting to bond with their family, and,
Yeah.
and he's like, your dad bonded with me. He took me fishing.
me
We went
fishing.
fishing, dude.
And she's like, fine, I'll tell him. And then
She's about
after
to tell
the
him.
whole fight happens, she's like, wait, I promised, I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
And she goes to tell him, and he's like, we decided to put
Wedding
the
on
wedding
hold.
off for a little
I think
while.
that's a great idea.
And they're like, okay, that's smart, nothing to rush into. But it was cool because it kind of left the door open for them like getting together.
And then the
getting
dad
together.
goes-
or breaking up, and it's
Yeah.
still being plutonic
Yeah.
kind of friend. Yeah, I
and then the
did enjoy
dad's
that.
like,
Yeah.
let's chow down and munch on some grindage.
Yeah, he does it like that, just like that. Like, what's
Grindage.
And I got really uncomfortable in my seat, and I was just like, "Oh, old
Yeah.
people." No.
But
I
the
don't want him
best is
munching
they
on my
invite.
grindage.
The one problem with Zach is they invite
Tiffany Amber
Tiffany
Thiessen.
Amber Thiessen's character Tracy to stay for dinner, and she sits down and he starts like
Oh, really?
inching
Smart
over
man.
to-
Oh, I
Smart
missed
man.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
and he's got this big old smile on his face. Just like,
Oh God,
Fantastic.
Then we're nursing a semi there.
Yeah.
Oh, if they can say it in a Disney movie, we can say it on a podcast.
it's true.
Dude, our whole podcast would just be us singing Semi the whole time.
You're calling all trucks as soon as the duck.
Just harmony on that.
Calling all
harbor train-
trucks. This here's the duck. We're about to go hunting bear.
Jeez.
Oh man, well that's son-in-law. I hope here on this Black Friday that you're enjoying and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, if you
can-
like stupid, crazy, but also like turns out that it has a heart in it.
Decent
Yeah.
movies.
It is a good movie.
and genuinely funny.
a
I'm always
feel-good
surprised. I'm always surprised with Pauly Shore movies how much I'm laughing.
Some people got to be in that
Yeah.
right mood, but if you are, like, it's one of those things where it's like you got that itch, and it's one of those movies that it'll
Yeah.
scratch it.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point though. Maybe this is like, okay, you've done your shopping, you've done everything, you've got your turkey, you're doing leftovers right now. Go make yourself a nice drink, get a beer, sit down and put on a Pauly Shore movie.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
And I got a tip for you on beer. If you're like me, I hate beer bloat. I hate it when you're sitting down, you're enjoying one, you suddenly eat something, you just explode, just expand. So a brewery up in Georgia that I went to, this guy taught me, this brewmaster. He's like, listen, before you drink a beer, eat a beer. Before you drink a beer,
Before you eat the can.
drink a beer. You take like a coffee stirrer or your spoon or something like that, and he's like, agitate it a little bit. Put a nice head on it. That releases all that gas that's
Carbonation.
built in it, all that carbonation. He's like, it makes the beer go down smoother.
That's why when
Tastes better.
Yeah, well, that's why like beer on tap is often a lot better because it lets a lot of that carbonation go.
Gets it out, and then while you're eating, you don't get the beer bloat. So enjoy this, this holiday.
Hot
Eat
tips.
it up, get it going. Yeah,
Hot
put on a
tips.
Pauly Shore movie marathon.
Yeah, for real.
With everybody.
favorite Pauly Shore movies in order?
In the Army now.
That's a tough question.
In the Army now is one for me.
Yeah.
Then probably Biodome, Encino Man, and Son-in-Law. But I really like Son-in-Law. It might go
I
Son-in-Law.
don't even take Encino Man as one of his.
Then
movies.
probably
Oh, really? Okay.
In
I mean-
the Army now, and Biodome and Son-in-Law are like right here for me
Yeah.
because
Right.
there's so many good one-liners in Biodome though.
Yeah. I think it's for me. It's Son-in-Law in the Army now and Biodome, but they're all like
Yeah.
interchangeable.
I think
If had to
Biodome
put
is
them in
still
order.
last
I
for
bring
me,
that-
but
yeah.
I do like that movie a lot.
And the
get
only
that.
reason I don't do Encino Man like as one of the Pauly Shore movies is because he's not like the center of
Yeah.
the. He's
Brendan
not the
Fraser
main.
is the.
Yeah, it's
And
like
he's
it's
in
kind-
Air. Well,
it's
he's
a
in
more-
Airheads too. Right? No, that's Sandler.
No, yeah, it's Adam
Yeah.
Sandler. That's
Yeah.
a great movie too.
Yeah.
That's a
but,
good one, too.
But yeah, that's the only yes, it's a Pauly Shore movie, but like I don't consider it one of the Pauly Shore movies.
Yeah. And then if you
where
got
it's
kids,
just ridiculous,
yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
one-liners, like make it a film. They actually told us we don't need to do that anymore.
With
What
the
I can
least
do
you
it.
collected.
At least you collected them.
Inspiration of my brother, the Pool Man.
That's
Yeah.
that's in the Army now. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
one.
Drop the pen, throw the grenade.
Drop the pin, throw the grenade.
Drops a grenade, throws the pin. Moves. And if you got kids around, if you need a really family friendly, he's also in Goof Troop. We're going to say it again. Goof
Great
Troop.
movie.
Hilarious movie.
Great movie.
Amazing soundtrack. I'm pretty sure that I put that song on our playlist. The If
You-
you listen to each
Yeah.
other's heart.
Yeah,
That's out there.
like the pop guy at the
Yeah.
end.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that'll do it for us here. Thanks again. Like and follow. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. Our shop should be open. Trey, if you want to throw up that sweater again, I'm gonna. If by the time this is out, I'm gonna make a couple of these that are T-shirts for all our folks down here in the South who might not be, enjoying some of the colder weather of our neighbors up to the north. Not just Canadians, but anywhere's up.
Yeah, if you get to like Orlando, you could probably wear that.
Yeah, that's probably it. We're just a little too hot down here. But anyways, thanks again. As always, I'm Matt.
Thanks for checking us out.
Appreciate it.
Trey.
I'm Tyler Cowabunga.